This is Matt Furman with Core Group Resources here with our new Vice President of Business Development, Matt May. Welcome.
Thank you.
Matt May is a 25-year Navy SEAL. He's got 5 years in Houston doing work in telecoms and onshore construction of LNG terminals. And the LNG terminal construction market is still underway. It's considered clean energy and it's growing. And so Core Group has a lot of experience in the LNG construction marketplace, but I wanted to bring Matt in on this, one for an introduction and two, just kind of a brief background on LNG terminal construction projects in the Gulf and what you see.
Well, appreciate the chance to talk to the public. But from what we saw, I was working at Biso Construction Services. I was part owner with Bo Biso. We started back in 2018. We noticed that with Cameron LNG, large facility, $15 billion complex at the time, was dealing with cost overruns, manpower shortages or manpower problems. They had plenty of people on site, but a very diverse lack of experience is what we would say. One instance, you could basically go to McDonald's and the guy would be working and cashing you out. And the next thing you know, the next day he's at the site wearing a hard hat. So you're not exactly sure the qualifications of all these guys.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah. That's
well, there's 10,000 people on a job site building a facility in basically what you consider no man's land, where there's barely any people living there. So where are you going to get everybody? They build $100 million living accommodations for these people, but they were definitely struggling. Again, we came in, when we talked to them initially, we said, well, we can come in with about 350 electricians, pipe fitters to begin with. And they said, well, where are you going to get that? We've pretty much depleted Texas and Louisiana. Got a chuckle out of that. And we said, well, we'll pull in out of Brownsville and out of different areas for some of the people that we knew that weren't working those facilities and were available. So that's what we started with, signed a contract, got underway. Definitely did very well. What they do is they manage these projects by looking at the packages and how fast you can complete certain projects over a period of time. And that's kind of how they measure your success rate.
Wow. So, yeah, just when you think you've emptied the pool of skilled talent, you just increase the radius and people are willing to travel from Brownsville or wherever else to get there. So that's great. Yeah, so a lot of these major capital projects, we see a lot of unnecessary spend inside of these projects, and so a lot of contractors have to be careful on overages, and I don't think, and we were talking earlier on, most projects in the LNG space do run over. Is that correct? I mean, about every one of them?
Yeah, I would say in my limited time, 5 years is by no means a lifetime in oil and gas, but when you get onto enough facilities and you're talking to enough people that have done this for 30, 40, 50 years, and in some cases 60 years, like one of the gentlemen that we hired, you pretty much understand that it seems to be commonplace, and it's not just a few $1 million here or there. We're talking billions of dollars in cost overruns and massive amounts of equipment and supplies that are delivered to the site and aren't even utilized. So logistics, sometimes you question who's managing the logistics of these projects.
Yeah, so Matt has an incredible logistics background, not only with manpower, but actually just bringing efficiencies to operations. So if you do have a plant or a project that's under construction and you need someone to come in and look at it from a third-party view, to help bring in efficiencies and increase quality of manpower, Matt May is your guy. Contact us here at Core Group Resources if you have any questions on this. And Matt, I'm glad to have you on the team and excited to see where we take this.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Great, thanks.